Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Bullis Gotti, my nigga. You already know what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? This is content over everything. And this one right here, this is a real one I wanted to do for the homie. I really wanted to do a video. I didn't get to talk about it. So I really wanted to take the time out to do a video for the homie Nature Boy. I didn't like how the
Breaking news just into our newsroom right now. Accused cult leader Eliseo Bishop was just found guilty of rape, false imprisonment, and posting a woman's nude photos online. We've been covering this all week. A DeKalb County jury found Bishop raped one of his followers back in 2022. As soon as we learn more about when he'll be sentenced, we will pass that along to you.
Dr. Ahmadai Shakur. 40-year-old Eliseo Bishop, also known online as Nature Boy and the leader of the cult Carbon Nation, has been found guilty on all counts and has been sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Let's get into it. Bishop was arrested in April of 2022, and later a grand jury indicted him on counts of rape, false imprisonment, and 3 counts of prohibition on nude or sexually explicit electronic transmissions in July of 2022. A former member of the cult who said that she was his girlfriend at the time and said she had lived with him, but when she decided to leave that he became upset, and then that's when he assaulted her and also posted explicit videos of her online, mostly on X, formerly known as Twitter. And then later his wife came forward and said that he'd also sexually abused and emotionally abused other members of the cult. The first witnesses to the defense took the stand on Thursday, one of which was a male who says that he joined the group when he was 17 years old. Now, he argued that it was not a cult. He was adamant about that. He said that it was a tribe and that he joined a tribe of his own free will and that they did not have rules, but what they had was agreements to live the way they chose, and that they referred to Bishop as a god, the Messiah. Please pay attention. When questioned about the violent videos that had been posted online, they simply said that was just for entertainment purposes only, and that basically they were, mimicking the Will Smith Chris Rock incident, even though the prosecutor said that the videos came out before that incident ever even occurred. And one of them even said that she was the one who posted the explicit videos of the victim, and that it wasn't Bishop. So they literally were trying to cover for him, even willing to take the blame for his own actions. This is all so crazy, if you ask me. Defense witnesses claimed that the trial was corrupt and that they were simply trying to stop Bishop from getting his message out to the masses. Please pay attention. Bishop wasn't present in court on Thursday for the proceedings. He watched it from the DeKalb County Jail. Says that he was concerned that Judge Stacey Heydrich was possibly spreading C-19. Now, the judge did test positive earlier this week. Court was canceled Tuesday and Wednesday. On Thursday, she offered masks and face shields. She said that Bishop has been trying to do everything in his power to derail the proceedings. Before the judge handed down the sentence on Friday, some of the witnesses gave statements to the court sharing their experiences of abuse. And also one woman said that Bishop was a monster, and she told him, "Now you're imprisoned like you imprisoned us." Bishop was told to direct his comments to the judge. He repeatedly said that he wasn't upset, and he told them all that he still loved them. Now, the judge says that Bishop is a master manipulator and that he's a classic narcissist and that he showed no remorse during the entirety of the trial. Please pay attention. So you can pause to read the charges and what he was sentenced to for each of them. The long and short of it is he has a life sentence with no possibility of parole. However, he does have like 30 days to appeal the decision. And the final thing is, if they were just a group of people who wanted to live off the land, just live out in nature and just follow his teachings or whatever under his guidance, I wouldn't really care, because people can do what they want to do as far as I'm concerned, as long as you're not hurting or harming anyone. But the fact that there was violence and there were people being forced to do things they didn't want to do, and also mainly because of some of the inappropriate things that he said about children, which I think is absolutely deplorable. Well, at the end of the day, I mean, he does need to be sent to prison as far as I'm concerned.
I would have been inclined to exercise some discretion had Mr. Bishop shown any remorse, guilt, or regret throughout this process. And I saw nothing during the trial but for him laughing and cutting up and looking shocked and surprised at all of the testimony. Mr. Bishop, you're a master manipulator and probably the classic definition of a narcissist that I've ever seen. You took advantage of these folks who are essentially lost souls, looking for some guidance, looking for some connection, or looking for some comfort. And you were able to fill a void for them for some reason. But in the process, you completely took advantage of them and have caused potentially, I hope not, but potentially irreparable harm. I hope that all of the victims will be able at some point in time to recover from this and to find some type of peace in their lives. And maybe the verdict will help in that regard. But I hope you all are able to move on at some point and find some peace, whatever that is for you. So with that, I am going to follow the recommendation of the state in this case. On the rape, he'll be sentenced to life without the possibility of parole, followed by 10 years consecutive for the false imprisonment. And on the internet porn, count 3, 12 months to serve, concurrent to the false imprisonment. The internet porn, I'll run concurrent to the false imprisonment. Internet, 5 years. So it's 12 months on count 3, 5 years on count 4, and 5 years on count 5. All of that will run concurrent to the false imprisonment. But the false imprisonment is consecutive. So it's life without parole plus 10 years. And hopefully you will never be able to take advantage of it.
Running it down on these niggas. Sex, drugs, money, and murder, my nigga. You know how we get it, my nigga. Still be painting them pictures, my nigga. Ripping that roll and fucking your bitches. Sex, drugs, money, and murder. 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 Niggas, they never gon' hurt you. Niggas will never will hurt you. Sex, drugs, money, and murder. Sex, drugs, money, and murder. How the traps right, understand how to get that. Ran down on them niggas with a flip back. Knew I never seen another nigga live like that. I was still getting stacks back. Had to fuck around getting them packs back.
Ladies and gentlemen, so Nature Boy, I'ma speak about it. I'ma speak in depth. I don't think this even need no intro. I don't think this need anything, but just me speaking in depth about Nature Boy. You see, I got the velour on. Y'all know I'm the king of the sweatsuits. You know what I'm saying? Had to give y'all a little old school classic velour for y'all niggas. So, Nature Boy basically was found guilty last week and sentenced to life in prison without parole. Here's my take on that and my opinion on that. Now, Nature Boy is a free spirit. He started Carbonation a couple years back, and he was in the conscious community for a long time. A lot of people had their issues with Nature Boy, and I get it. A lot of dudes don't like how the brother lived his life and how he carried himself. But what I find messed up, right? And I broke bread with Nature Boy. Shout out to the whole Carbonation. Broke bread with him, good brother. They love me over there. You know, Nature Boy was one of those guys that I felt everything he was saying in his spirit. And he is a real one. We chopped it up. I brought him when he was on a certain YouTuber's platform. I'm not gonna say the dude's name, but this dude that names himself after a bike, this old gentleman, he was on his platform, and he was getting attacked over there. And I reached out. I said, "Yo, Nature Boy, yo, I don't like how, dude is doing you. He trying to violate you, bro." And from that day on, me and him became the best of homies. I would chop it up with him. Nature Boy went on my platform like 3 times, And we did 2 powerful lives with me, him, and Hassan Campbell when me and Hassan was in good terms. And we did some powerful work together, and we bridged the gap. And I think a lot of people don't like Nature Boy, like I said, because he's a free spirit and he was about polygamy. And once you do something like polygamy, right, you have to understand we in a westernized society. When you go against the grain, you go against this westernized society, you become public enemy number one. A man speaking his mind and being a free spirit goes against the grain. So with that being said, what do? They target this man. He was targeted ever since he started Carbonation. A bunch of YouTubers making their careers off of him by calling the police on him, calling the FBI, all type of things. Females being agents of chaos. The whole situation that happened with him, the Nefertiti chick, lied on him. Okay, lied on him. This was a chick that was a conscious community groupie. She went from Prince York, Yada, TK Capone, and Nature Boy. She went back and forth to all these different men in the conscious community. You know what I'm saying? She was a jump off. And by her being a jump off and jealous, she did what most jealous, insecure women do. She lied on that man. She came back to this man after she left this man and went to, like I said, TK Capone, Prince York, Yada, and then she returned back. Now, looking at what happened in Nature Boy, it's the same thing what happened to the brother Rashad Jamal. Rashad Jamal started growing, his platform started growing, and then next thing you know, look what happens to Rashad Jamal. He gets incarcerated. His baby mother, the woman that he was originally with, tells on him and say he did all these things, right? But Rashad Jamal was dealing with another woman, and a lot of these women get jealous. You have to remember, a lot of these women get jealous and they're very insecure. So when it comes to Nature Boy, that chick was dangerous. That chick literally, was the cause of that brother's downfall. Like I said, Nature Boy has always been a good brother in my book. Me and him has had a great relationship and a great rapport. I was kind of hurt to hear that the brother got incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? And to hear that after he gets a guilty verdict, the judge goes and says, I'm going to give you a life sentence. Now, I've never heard, in all the years I've lived, I've never heard of a judge giving a fast sentence in a case. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even have a chance to get like a sentence. He just got a sentence that fast. He got a guilty verdict and then he got a sentence right after the guilty verdict. And I'm like, wow, this shit was all stage. This was all stage. This was all planned out to get a conviction out of this man. The messed up part is that, he didn't get a fair shake. He didn't get a fair trial. And he didn't really, it was a bias. It was biased from the beginning. And not only that it was biased from the beginning, but it just goes to show you that, we're in dangerous times where a lot of these things is a political agenda with it. You know what I'm saying? And with Nature Boy, it was an agenda. They went after and targeted this man. Nature Boy didn't force these women to go. It's just like with the R. Kelly thing. When I hear people say, oh, they are monsters, they forced these women, they did not force these grown women to do anything that they didn't want to do. They wanted to be with Nature Boy. They wanted to live with Nature Boy. They wanted to be on the island with Nature Boy. He didn't put guns to these women's heads. They chose to be there, right? So with them doing what they're doing to this man, that now this man is incarcerated for what? For what? Because he, went against the grain. He went against the powers that be. He went against the machine. And they was like, nah, we got to humble this dude. You know what I'm saying? Because what I feel like is like, damn, that's fucked up. Because as a man just living his life, if you could do that to, and this is the thing, if you could do that to Nature Boy, who else you can do that to? That's the way I feel. Because if Nature Boy can feel that same, and they can do the same thing to him, they can do this to anybody that speaks their mind. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't deserving of life sentence. You know what I'm saying? Especially if the chick, the chick wasn't even telling facts, the truth, or nothing. They just had an agenda that they wanted to convict him, and they did that. They did just so that they convict him, because it was an agenda from the start. It wasn't a trial that didn't have unbiasedness. It was a trial where it was going to be biased. It was a trial that it was going to go the way that these people all wanted to go. You got to remember, they stalked this man from everywhere he went. They were stalking this man. Okay? I don't care if he was overseas. If he was in America, they was willing to stalk this man. So, like I said, man, I support Nature Boy. I hope he gets his freedom. It's an injustice what happened to him. And it's a highway robbery, and salute the Nature Boy, man.